Okay, very excited about today's episode. We've been practicing this one a whole heckin' lot. We're taking a look at them Malice girls today, and I'm gonna tell you, this is gonna be a good one. Gonna be a good one. I was even considering bringing out the green screen, doing like a little fancy Memphis and Wonderland thing, but yeah, I didn't do that. But I do got some. I got some tea and biscuits. There was tea and biscuits in Alice in Wonderland, right?
Pretty sure give me like weird side effects or something. Oh, maybe a biscuit will fix this.
That do anything?
Yes, and hey everybody on YouTube, it's your boy, the Memphis Accelerate, welcoming you back to check this out. The show we take a look at whatever deck we want to take a look at, have ourselves a good old time. You might notice it's time for some Malice, a very new archetype with a lot of combo to it. There's a very long-winded combo for this deck, and I've been practicing it. I was originally having our boy Spooky Memphis doing that because it's Halloween, it's his time to be playing the game. But he had some smoke coming out of his ears playing this deck, so I decided to give him the day off. I'll do this deck today. So we got the Malices. We're gonna be doing their combos and their wombos, their what do's and what not do's, as we always do, and have ourselves a good old time just summoning up these Cyberse monsters and banishing them over and over again. Very much best friends with the Allure of Darkness, and we'll have ourselves a good old time. So if you want the whole deck list, it's as always at the end, but for now we're going to head on to Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, that wild west of Yu-Gi-Oh! And show off what this deck can do. So, enough talking, let's get started. Alrighty everybody, our first opponent of the day, and another COD game. We do like to go first with this deck as often as humanly possible. It's very much a go first or go home sort of thing. We're trying to get things set up. Our opening hand, might be a little hard to go full combo with a hand like this one. Not to say I can't, but it's not going to be easy. So we're going to have to do snarky things. We're going to activate our field spell, Malice in the Underground. Normally a card we play late in our combo, but right now we need to have something to start. So we're going to get our Dormouse. She is the monster that we want to start with, like all the time, but what the normal summon more often. But it's okay. You know, we'll do a smaller combo here. Show off what the idea is. You know, we're just trying to start with the Dormouse. You banish this rabbit. When the rabbit's banished, or any of our Malice, any Malice monster gets banished, you can bring them back for a small life point donation. That's all you need to do. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get our Trap GWC. We already have TB11. With the normal combo, this is the card that you search out first, like 100% of the time. You never want to not start with that. And let me think here. Normal summon, Code of Soul. We'll need that for later. Alright. I may be able to start with something here. We'll see. I do like the Code of Soul is going to be in the graveyard for later, though. That's a nice card. So we're going to get our Red Ransom. This is our first link of 3. Got a few different effects, but right now the most important thing is I'm going to get a Parallel Exceed, and this could get me another copy of the field spell. Like I said, the field spell is more for later in the combo, but at the very least, this will let me start with something. I mean, I'll have my Parallel Exceed to have a nice big beat stick on the board. It's always nice every once in a while just have a big old beat stick on the board. Let me see here. I just gotta be careful where wait, where'd he go? Am I stuck to, yeah, I'm stuck to links to the Dormouse right now. Not a problem. Not the problem. We're gonna use TB11. I can play my traps to turn their set. All I need to do is banish a monster, which, remember, that's something we want to do. And we're going to summon up, oh, pardon me, the Cheshire Cat. Summon that Cheshire Cat, and our Red Ransom will go off, summon itself back, and banish another monster. And normally you'd want to banish, like, well, you don't want to banish another one of your Cheshire Cats right now. That's for later. We're going to get Dot Scraper here. We're going to get Dot Scraper. I might actually be able to do most of my combo now I think about it. I think I have enough monsters to brute force my way into combo land. I could just make Neo Tempest right now if I wanted to. But I don't want to yet because I need to do other things to do that. That's the problem. So we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to summon out our Link Decoder. And we're going to summon out our other Link 3, Heart Scripter. Boom, boom, and a boom. Coming out Heart's Cryptor. Link Decoder will then come back, as he likes to do. Summon that boy back. And then what we're going to do is SP Little Knight. Which I probably don't really need to do because I have materials, but I want to show off what the combo's supposed to look like. You'll banish one of your cards. Of course, you're banishing Heart's Cryptor, because then she comes back. That's the whole idea here. So, Heart's Cryptor comes back. Hello, I have returned from ye olden graveyard. And now we're going to use these two to make this thing. A white binder. This is the most important monster for our combo here. We are going to banish our trap, and we're going to banish like 2 other cards. It doesn't really matter who. But you don't want to banish Rabbit. Don't banish Rabbit for this, or either of your links. Don't banish them. Do banish Cheshire Cat, though. Do banish the cat, but don't banish the links, because then they won't be brought back later. We need them for later. So now we're going to bring back our Cheshire Cat. And since I have an additional field spell, I'm just going to banish it and draw some more cards, because I can. Ooh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so now, this will bring it back from the graveyard too. That's important. So we're going to go ahead and link these two off. We're going to make ourselves a Splash Mage. Going to use Splash Mage's effect to bring back a Cheshire Cat. Doesn't really matter who. Not really. Not with what we've got here. And now, finally, top of the hour, we're going to make our final big bad, which is this. Neo Tempest Terahertz. Giant Link 5 boy. You ditch a monster from a deck or extra deck to the grave. He gets to change his attributes, attack multiple times, gets bigger. Most importantly, we're putting a spell trap negate in the graveyard. And we're pretty set. I could blind allure here, but I think we're good. I think we're fine here. Because right now what we're going to do is activate Malice Trap card and hope that he does not have, I don't know, Ash Blossom or something. Because this is going to let us bring back White Binder. Like so. And we're going to gain some life points. More importantly, we're going to banish some more cards now. Remember, that's what we want to do. So, we're going to banish our 2 links, and we're going to banish the Bunny Rabbit. And this is what, like, most of the time you want our end board to look like. This is what we're trying to do, because now all of these Malices are going to come back. Going to get the Red Ransom. We're going to get the Queen of Hearts. We do want to make sure that the Queen... Yeah, well, make sure the Queen goes here. That's important because you want her to point to someone, because if she points to someone, your opponent can't interrupt her banishing effect. Alright, so White Bunny, you can go over here. And then Heart's Cryptor, you go here. And then Red Ransom, go here. And then we'll just banish a monster. It doesn't really matter that much at the moment. So we'll get another copy of the field spell, because we do. We're going to get our other trap, because that's another interrupt this deck can do. And we're actually really set up at the moment. Because I have Code of Soul in the graveyard right now. Meaning that during my opponent's main phase, that I can make Firewall Dragon. Yeah, I can make Firewall Dragon like pretty much whenever. I'd prefer to do that after using Heart's Cryptor's effect, though. Because I'd rather link off Cryptor and a monster, put Firewall here, that way I have a double bounce. But that's the idea of this. Like I said, this is a very combo-intensive deck. You kind of have to do things in certain orders to get everything to do what you want it to do. But we're pretty set. I mean, I have a Spell Trap Negate. I've got an Imperm. He's got the Pot of the Extravagant. Do I want to stop that, is the question. Yeah, I don't really trust my opponent to have that. So we're going to use the effect of our Cyberse guy here. We'll just negate this spell. We're going to negate that. No free draws for you, sir. Not until Pot of Greed comes off the ban list will we allow free draws again. Alright. We'll see. I mean, the fact that he doesn't seem to care about the extra deck is always concerning, but we'll see where this goes. We shall see where it goes. Lots of things, you say. Lots of things. Okay. End of the main phase. We're going to go ahead and use Heart's Cryptor's effect. We're going to put Dormouse back in the deck. You do want to leave the traps banished. And I'll explain why later. There's actually a pretty, there's a reason for it. Let's put it that way. There's a reason for it. Because, well, I'll just tell you now. The field spell does allow your Malices to get 3,000 attack if you have all 3 traps banished, which takes some time, and my opponent surrendered before I could do that time. So this was Gravekeepers? Man, my boy did not... Oh, my boy. If he had gone first, that could have been rough. But thankfully, that was not the case. But that's the idea of this deck, folks. You go first. You try to combo as much as humanly possible. And you just run over your opponent. And I was, you know, you can load up your X deck with whatever else for Neo Tempest here. But the one is usually good. So let's go for duel number 2. Show off more what this deck can do. Alrighty, second opponent. Let's go do it again. And we get to go first again, so that's nice. That's always what we want to see. And hey, we got the Dormouse and the Trap already, so that's pretty dang good. You know, we should be able to open with combo right here and there. Got our Dormouse and no imperms or ashes detected. That's what we like to see. And I was a little concerned with this deck at first. You know, people asked me to try the mouse, and I'm like, sure, I'll try the mouse. Then you actually start playing the mouse, and it's like, they are a little complicated just because it's a very small archetype. They're very small, and, you know, on their own, they do some things as well. But they really shine when you just combine with all the other busted Link stuff. Imagine if you combine these with, like, what do you call them, like, decoders and things, like, more than we already have with, like, Link Decoder. Probably make them even more busted. Probably, maybe a future deck idea right there. Possibly. But yeah, we'll get our Dormouse here. And most of the duels are going to follow this kind of program. Like I said, this deck can get complicated. You don't want to make, like, too many combos you can do. You don't want to have, like, 10 different lines. And you're just going to get confused as to what to do. Alright, but yeah, we'll get our Red Ransom going here. We'll get it started. It is nice that we have, like, both of the traps already. That's actually pretty nice. It's always nice to start with multiple traps there. But let's go ahead and get our Cheshire Cat. I always like Cheshire Cats art the most because you got like a little USB on the tail. It's kind of nifty. I guess the whole lore of these is like it's Alice in Wonderland, but like I don't know, it's cybernetic Wonderland. I don't know, something like that. But let's go ahead and get our Red Ransom. We'll do the usual stuff. I don't really need to explain it too much because we've already done it. But we're essentially going to end roughly in the same spot. Gonna go ahead and get these. Let's see. What was the next step? I did kind of have to review this a lot. There's a lot of testing I had to do for this combo. But we got our Hearts of Cryptor, and I just realized I messed up the combo. Oh boy. I don't. Okay, I have Code of Soul. Hold on. Maybe I can do something here. Yeah, I think I can still do this. Okay. I messed up a little bit, but we had a little bit, just a little bit enough redundancy here. So we should still be able to do something here. Like I said, you gotta really dial in focus if you're gonna play this deck, because it can get very convoluted. But let's go ahead for our things. I should also mention the Nightmare Griffin. If you don't want to go for, like, Firewall Dragon, that's another option. It is another option. You can do that. You, and you. Probably could have hit the Dormouse, but this is fine. This is fine. Doesn't matter too much. Doesn't matter too much at the moment. But let's go ahead and get our Cheshire Cat. Let's get our other trap while we're at it, because White Binder does get you another trap. Kind of funny how, yeah, White Rabbit and White Binder both get you traps. Strange thing that. And let's see, that'll get Splash Mage. But before we do anything else, let's go ahead and use Cheshire Cat to draw some more cards. Never a reason not to draw a couple cards. And yeah, we do play D-Shifter. I'm not doing too many of these today. You'd think it's a perfect card for the deck. But sometimes you actually want your monsters to stay in the grave for a turn. So, you know, it's not as perfect a card for this deck as you'd think. We can play around D-Shifter pretty well. But it's not like we want to, you know... it's not like we don't want to have a graveyard at all, ever. It's not that sort of situation. Let's go ahead and activate Malice in the Underground. Got something. Are you going to finally hit me with a Nibiru? It's possible. I wouldn't be happy if you did that, but I can still play around it. I mean, I've got the setup to get around Nibiru. It's just I'd like to have my Terahertz, because he's kind of like my big bag. He's my big bad boy. I want him on the board, the big bad board. What are you going to do? Okay, nothing. Good. All right, where is White Binder? White Binder, yes. Yep, and then White Binder comes back. And then we're gonna make our big bad after I draw myself a spare card. And we are good. Alrighty. Pretty dang solid. I mean, I've got my traps. I'm all set. I got a third trap, just in case I need it. And before we end our turn, I will use Terahertz's effect to ditch that big old fusion boy. And we're good. Alright, now, you know, my opponent has like kaiju and things. I would definitely say that's one of the things that could definitely interrupt our flow here. But other than that, we should be pretty good. So let's get our White Binder back. We will gain that life points back and banish our stuff again. Like I said, this is what the deck is doing. It does get a little repetitive, but it's very consistent once you get the combo nailed down, pat. It's very consistent. And we're not going to use Terahertz's effect again right now. I do get another interrupt with this thing because I can ditch that one rank 9 Xyz from my extra deck and just negate a card on the board. But timing is very crucial for that, so we're not gonna do that just yet. But we will bring out the bunny rabbit. And my opponent has lost connection. Yeah, that's gonna happen a lot today. I mean, at least the Gravekeeper guy tried. You gotta give the Gravekeeper guy tried. He tried his best. So let's go for duel number 3. Maybe we'll try to do something different. Like I said, I built this deck to do like this combo. That's what the deck is built to do, is to do the one thing. But maybe we'll just try and go in for the malices and not worry about other stuff. We'll see how it goes. Alright, everybody, the third opponent, the fighting third, hopefully a fighting third. That's the thing with this deck. People will duel against it, and if they don't have an out to your crazy board, there is going to be a lot of rage quitting. It's sad but true. 60 cards something, okay. Let's go for Sign Mining. I'm going to ditch the Mulcharmy because he's really in here in case he goes second. So, you know, that's what Mulcharmy's here, but I don't need Mulcharmy right now. Mulcharmy's a silly card. He'd also bankrupt me if I ever tried to make him in real life. Or was it the other way? It's one of those two, but either way, Dormouse, do its thing. I'm not going to explain what we're doing because we already know what we're doing. It's kind of crazy. It's just the fact that, like, these are Cyberse. There's so much established Cyberse support that makes Malice just really, really good. It gives them that level of consistency that, you know, modern decks just love to abuse. It really does. So I do still want to, like, maybe end on a slightly smaller board just to see that interaction with my opponent. I mean, obviously we're trying to, you know, annihilate our opponents like as quickly as humanly possible, but I'd still like to see some kind of interaction. It's not the way I like to play. I don't like to play a deck mostly at the time that, you know, stops my opponent from playing, unless I'm playing a troll deck, in which case I'll troll the heck out of them, but this is not a troll deck, it's a combo wombo deck. That's just what it is. Alright, but for now we're just gonna go through the motions and we'll see where it stops. We'll see where it stops. Get the field spell. I could just end on the red one. That is true. That is very true. But we'll find out in a bit. Let's get Cheshire Cat going. I still wonder if there's ever going to be another member of this archetype that is Alice herself, or any of the other Wonderland critters. I don't know. I mean, these are new. Almost misclicked. Almost. That would have been the end of our combo right there if I had misclicked that one. 100% for certain. Link decoder. Trying to find a spot where I can end it where I don't have to do the usual. Like, I'd rather just like stop on Heart's Cryptor. If I had that power, if I had more of my cards banished right now, which I could banish a card, but it wouldn't be much. Would not be much. So yeah, that's the thing with like this build, is that like it's very consistent to do one thing, and yeah, if I get interrupted enough, I could like end on different boards, but I'm gonna be making this board as much as humanly possible. It's what this deck is designed to do. Alright, so we'll make our White Binder. Maybe we can just end on White Binder after I get the trap. Let's see. Let's banish you. Let's banish Cheshire Cat and the trap. Those are the important ones to banish. Okay. The Cheshire Cat will come back, as she does. And yeah, I have spare field spell, so why not? Let's ditch this field spell. Just draw an extra couple of cards. There's no reason not to. Especially when we get to draw into another field spell. Always the best thing to do. Get another field spell. You always need more field spells, you know. Alright, so Dot Scraper. Come back, my Minecraft looking brother. Get back here. And field spell? You know, it would be really neat if I could, if this guy lasts long enough to at least allow us to try and get all those traps banished. I mean, we have one. We need to banish the other two. And if we could do that somehow, would be amazing. That would be amazing. So we'll get our trap card. I've got the dimension shifter, but that's just good for allure targets. And there you go. Oh, there you go. Neo Tempest, Terahertz. He's huge. That's another thing I've always wondered. Why Konami never gonna make like a Link 8? Like, they put 8 markers on, obviously for the 8 different directions that could be on, but I don't know. I was always curious, like, what a Link 8 would look like. I was always curious. Let's see. I'm gonna set Designator in case I ash him and he tries to call my grave on me. I think that'll work. All right, your turn, brother. All right. Good luck to ye. Good luck to ye, sir. I will now activate my Trappy card to bring back the girl. I'm going to put her right in the middle. I usually like to put her right in the middle, because then if I go for my, you know, if I go into Firewall Dragon, it's good to have her pointing here. So, let's banish our Linky Stinkies. Banish our Rabbit. That's another thing, like, what about Tweedledee and Tweedledum? Why aren't they in here? That's probably going to be a future piece of support. We're going to get Tweedledee, Tweedledum, kind of like the Twin Seed Avalon. Something like that, I would imagine. Let's see, and the Rabbit, because that'll get us our other trap, which again, we play on the same turn. And let's see, White Rabbit, you go over here. Red Ransom, you may go here. And I will banish, it doesn't really matter who. It legit doesn't matter, really. I'll banish a Cheshire Cat just to have that banish itself. Plus, I can chain block. That's always a nice thing. Like I said, this deck is pretty busted. For being so small, my opponents keep rage quitting. I can't even get a duel in with this deck. It's so ridiculous. I mean, there's gotta be a way to get a duel in, right? Okay. We're gonna go for one more duel, folks. I was gonna just save it at 3. We're gonna do one more, and we're not going full combo. We will intentionally not go full combo. We're gonna try to do something else. See what happens when we don't get the combo. All right, everybody, the 4th and final duel of the day. And this time, things are gonna be different. 1, we're going second. 2, we're going second. And 3, my intention is to not go for combo. That is my main thing. Especially when my opponent bricks. Especially then. Okay. Let us go as simple and clean as humanly possible. So, we're going to summon out our Dormouse. I'm going to use Dormouse's effect. We're going to banish a Cheshire Cat. Like I said, we're already doing different things here. We've already seen this deck at full power, and we've seen it just kind of annihilate people's souls. And while that can be, gratifying at times, not today. Not today, sir. Alright, so you did that. Fancy that. I got my field spell. So I'm going to banish mine Usagi here. Usagi. What's... Oh, yeah, it was Nezumi. Okay. Yeah, Nezumi, Neko, Usagi. Go Japanese on it. My opponent surrenders anyway! I didn't even go for the combo! I wasn't going to! Why you do this to me? Oh! I'm suffering from the success of Malice. Okay. Well, unfortunately, I got a video to work on, so I can't spend all day waiting for people to actually play the duel. So we're just gonna have to go for the end screen now, guys. I tried. I was just gonna attack him. That was all I was gonna do. Alrighty, everybody. So the Malice in Wonderland. We did get 4 wins today, technically speaking. I don't think Malice is necessarily like an unstoppable, unbeatable deck. It is very powerful. It doesn't take a lot to get started. Dormouse essentially you have, what, 6 copies of it thanks to sign-up mining, plus, you know, just in general, like, anything. You don't really need Dormouse specifically to start all the time, but it's really easy to get this archetype started. It really is, you know? Just go from one monster to, like, eventually winding up into Neo Tempest, going into, like, White Binder is the most important card of the day. You think Hertz is our boss? No, this little lady's our boss monster. She allows us to do all the crazy combos. She is our ultimate thing. But unfortunately, my opponents today just weren't up to snuff. I mean, sometimes that happens, but it really sucks when it happens. I like the back and forth. I like it when me and my opponent can both do stuff. You know what I mean? I like it when we both do stuff. So, well, it happens like that sometimes. But you get an idea of what this deck is about. I wish we could have had some more interaction, though, but when your opponents don't have the outs on EDO Pro, sometimes they just rage quit, and it really sucks. So, but here's the deck list in case y'all are curious about the Malice and you want to try them out yourselves. I would give it a shot. Maybe don't play it with your, like, casual buddies as much. Maybe that's, I play on the casual server, and most of the time I get trolled. But today I played on the casual server expecting to be trolled, and my opponents were playing casual. That's how it goes sometimes. But here's the deck list, everybody. Have a good time with it. So, for our main deck, we have 1 copy of Nibiru, 2 copies of Parallel Exceeds, 2 copies of D-Shifter, and 2 Mulcharming Fulvos. We have 3 copies of Cheshire Cat, 3 White Rabbit, and 3 Dormouse, 2 backup Secretary, which is important in case you just need a backup, 1 copy of the Code of Soul, it lets us link on our opponent's turn, a couple copies of Ass Blossom, and 1 Dot Scraper, very important card, 3 copies of Allure of Darkness, because it's one of our best cards for drawing cards, and our copies of Sign Up Mining, 3 of them things, in case we need our Dormouse, or just anybody, in fact. We have Gold Sarco, nice little old school tech, because you just banish any of your Malices and they just come right onto the board. We have Crossout Designator, which can play as many copies as you like. 1, 2, 3. Main point of this is that we're using this to stop our opponent from Nibiruing us, or ashing us, or whatever other hand traps it need, because those really hurt the deck. 3 copies of Malice and Underground, which, honestly, you could probably run just 1 of this, but I like the consistency of having multiple of this thing, because, you know, you never know what's going to happen. Plus, it's just, you know, discard whatever fodder you need. We have 3 copies of Infinite Imperm, in case we happen to be going second for whatever reason, or we just want another monster negate. We have 1 copy of Malice GWC for reviving our monsters. This is our main combo with our White Binder, to just kind of shut our opponent down. That's kind of what it does. I guess that's kind of what the artwork's saying. It's like a computer virus. We have 2 copies of TB11, which is a very nice card, which lets us summon a Malice from the deck, or can summon a Malice Link from the extra deck if my opponent controls multiple cards. Nice card to have if my opponent's going first and they don't, like, lock us out of anything. So, nice little trap, nice little trap. And then, of course, we have MTP07, which is showing another monster, which I don't think is in this archetype, so maybe that's future support. But this is a very nice card because it searches Malices from the deck, and if we have a link, we can banish any card on the field. So, nice card for banishing my opponent, or banishing my own traps, maybe. Get that 3,000 boost, potentially. For the extra deck, we're running a whole bunch of one-ofs, but we have Link Decoder, Lingaribo, my least favorite Karibo knockoff. 1 IP Masquerena, just in case we need to have Masquerena for something, going into things like Little Knight, etc., etc. Lizardos, of course, for our main starting combo. Splash Mage, part of the combo. Little Knight, part of the combo. Most of these are part of the combo. We have our 1 White Binder, which is our most important monster, because it searches us our traps, banishes 3 cards when it's summoned. You can interrupt my opponent, or allow me to build a big old board, whatever I need. 1 Red Ransom, because it searches out my field spell. It also has another effect, where if it points to any of my monsters, it switches the attack and defense of all my opponent's effect monsters, so it can make big monsters small, small monsters big, whatever have you may. Very situational effect, but it does come in handy. And then, of course, we have the Hearts of Cypher, or Cryptor, whatever your name is, Queen of Hearts. Well, that's what we're gonna call you, the Queen of Hearts, which has the effect of recovering our banished Malice cards and banishing cards on the field. Again, I can banish my own traps if I really needed to. And, you know, it can't be negated if it points to stuff, and it just revives itself if it gets banished. And it does, no, its attack gets doubled if it gets revived. That didn't really come up, but that's something else it does. Nightmare Griffin is a nice link 4 you can put in this deck. which again, you can link off into using our code of soul. And it does stop my opponent from using things that are linked, or if they're not linked, they can't use their effects on the board. So, you know, they'll get one thanks to hers, but that's about it if you happen to go into there. Same thing with Firewall Dragon. That's a little double bounce of my opponent's stuff. And if that thing that he gets pointing to gets destroyed, you get summon a Cyberse from the hand, which not as important, but double bounce is not too shabby. Then, of course, we have Neo Tempest Hereditary. I can't say your name. Terahertz. Terahertz. Big old Link 5 monster. Ditches monsters from deck or extra deck to the grave. Gives him a 2,500 point boost. Changes his attributes. More attributes he has, the more attacks he has. And we have wind, we have dark, we have fire. We have fire. We have earth. We have light. We have a bunch of different attributes. You really don't need more than like 3 at most on this thing, but it can get that high. And more importantly, it ditches things like our meteorologic aggregator, which can target and negate the effect of a face-up card when he's sent to the graveyard. We have our Cyber Worm, however you pronounce that bloody name, which is a spell trap negate while we have our high link monster. And then we have Firewall Exceed Dragon. This is like a silly little tech card I wanted to throw in here in case we do get into that elusive turn number 3, where I happen to have my Parallel Exceeds on the board, and I can exceed into this thing. You get 500 attack for the link ratings of the links monsters pointing to this guy. You get the idea. You sandwich this guy in between Red Ransom and White Binder and Terahertz. Well, you wouldn't be able to get through Terahertz, but you know, you can get like what, 3,000 attack points on this thing. That's not too shabby. That's not too shabby. So that's the deck, everybody. Oh wait, the side deck, of course. The Ash Blossom. This Template Skipper, which is another monster that you can put a body on the board with. There's other link monsters, of course, things like Excess Code Talker if you want another boss. Unicorn if you find like you're not as consistent for some reason. Wicked, which can what was the thing this do? Monster special summon the zone that points to. Banish the Cyberse from the grave. Add a tuner from the deck to the hand. Well, if you put a Cyberse tuner in here, this does allow you to banish things from your graveyard. So Wicked, yeah, he does some stuff too. I kind of just threw him in here, but yeah, he has some purpose in the deck as well. There's also things like Foolish Burial. That's mostly I'm putting here for Code Soul. And then there's Dimensional Fissure if you want another floodgatey sort of thing. But again, you don't really want to banish all of your graveyard all of the time. There are times you actually want the graveyard to exist. So it really just depends on what you want to do with the deck. If you want to play closer to pure Malice by removing the cards from your deck, then go ahead and do that. But in this particular build, we're not doing that. So thanks for watching, everybody. Next time, I really want to play the new Arcana Force, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be more support for that. I'm sure we'll figure out what's something today. We got to play something spooky next time. I'm not sure what yet. Might be the vampires, might be zombies in general. I don't know yet, but we'll figure out something. But anyway, until next time, everybody, y'all stay safe and happy. Your boy Memphis signing out. Till next time, y'all take care.